What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be telling you guys about 21 different Air Force terms or slang that you should probably know if you're going to join. My name is Michael Inman. I'm an airman in the United States Air Force and I upload videos on Mondays and Fridays. Let's see how many of these you already knew. Number 1, Volun-TOLD or Volun-TOLD. Pretty much this is a term or sarcastic term that we use for when a supervisor tells someone under them that they're going to be doing something. And this often comes after that supervisor asking for volunteers. Number 2, Hua! That sound is the Air Force way to provide acknowledgement of something. So you're going to use it a lot during basic training when, let's say, an MTI is like, hey, we got a lot to do today, but I'm sure you guys got it and I believe in you. You ready for it, guys? You ready? And the whole flight will go, Hua! And then you'll get up and get started with your day. Number 3, leave. Now leave is pretty much the permission to leave your local area. So in normal terms, it's the allowance to take vacation time. So it's either permission to leave your local area, or if you're staying local, it's just pretty much permission to take off work. You would just say, hey, I have leave next week, so I'm not gonna be here. That just means, hey, I'm off. 4, CAC or CAC card. Now, CAC card is pretty much just a very, very popular misspeech. You're not supposed to say CAC card because the last C in the acronym CAC is card. But anywho, CAC stands for Common Access Card, and it's pretty much your military ID. 5, PT. Just like in high school, that means physical training. And so in the Air Force, you know you need to keep your PT standards green, meaning stay above the PT standards. Make sure you are capable of meeting those standards and you'll be fine. PT, good for you, good for me. Number 7, it's a twofer. Civies and civilians. When people in the Air Force say civies permitted or you may wear civies, that means you may wear civilian clothing. And that just means you can wear normal things that are not the Air Force uniform nor the Air Force PT uniform. When you're allowed to wear civies, it means wear whatever you want as long as it's okay that your supervisor will be there and they're not going to be like, now why would you choose to wear that? Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation about professionalism. Civilians is the term used by people in the military to describe people not in the military. It's not providing any descriptors, so you're not communicating much information other than they're not in the military. So it's like, I was talking to a tall civilian. See what I mean? It's just a plural noun. So it's not casting judgment on people not in the military, but it is the noun civilian or civilians that helps articulate we are in the military, there are people who are not in the military. You know, the rest of the country. 7, a FOD walk. Now, FOD means foreign object debris. And a FOD walk is the thing you do in the Air Force, usually on the flight line. Other military branches have similar things in which you're looking for debris or things that fell out of people's pockets or things that were, stuck to a tire, but when a car went onto the flight line, it like fell off the tire and onto the flight line. Pretty much anything that the engines of a plane could like suck in to the engine or turbines. The turbines of a plane could suck in this debris that's on the ground and could cause some issues. So a FOD walk is when pretty much personnel of all ranks and job titles, they will go to the flight line and literally kind of create a line of humans looking down, walking forward, picking up anything, any debris, any random hairpins, things of that nature that have made it onto the flight line to prevent such hazards being there. I want to take a quick moment to say, if you're enjoying this video, definitely hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload brand new videos just like this. Let's get back into the video. Number 8, cover. This is also a twofer. In the Air Force, cover can mean your hat, meaning literally the hat as part of your uniform, but also cover is used, especially in BMT, to be one of the 2 forms of hiding places you could take if you are in a hostile environment. So what do I mean by that? Pretty much, cover is a form of hiding, a place to hide in which the thing you are covering behind can provide ballistic protection. So imagine you're being shot at, rifles are, being aimed at you and fired, or other things are going off near you. We would describe something as cover if it provides reasonably acceptable protection from those things coming toward you and entering your body. So a cement wall may be a good form of cover. It definitely would be a better form of cover than, let's say, some drywall, or let's say a little sheet that is hanging just to kind of keep a separation between one part of the room to the other. That is not cover. That would be called concealment. So cover can be your hat, or it can be something that provides ballistic protection. And if it's not the type of cover that provides ballistic protection, but it's still being used to hide, meaning maybe there's, an active shooter walking around wherever you are, and you just kind of hide behind, let's say, a thin door, like a thin wooden door. It's reasonably believable that bullets would go through that door. You are using the door as concealment, not cover. 9 is Reveille. Now, 9 is actually 3 things. It's Reveille, retreat, and taps. What are these 3 things? These 3 things are pretty much the music you hear that's blasted across a military base at specific times. So Reveille starts out your day, and at many a base, it is at 7 a.m. Retreat pretty much ends the duty day. So at a lot of bases, it'll blast at 4:30 p.m. or 16:30. And at certain bases, it'll just be the national anthem. So Reveille in the morning will have a certain song. It's called Reveille. Retreat, it kind of depends on what song they play, but I assume it's regularly the national anthem. And then finally, taps, which is the kind of end of the day song. It's called taps. And that can happen at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., just depending on the base that you are assigned. But just know if you're on base and these songs start going, 1, your car is supposed to stop moving. Stop driving and show respect to Reveille, retreat, or taps. I'm laughing because so many people don't do it. And then secondly, if you are outside in uniform, you will be going to attention and then saluting. And if you're in civies, just stand at parade rest. Number 10, PCSing. Now, PCSing stands for permanent change of station, and it's used in the verbal noun form quite often. So PCS is a noun, PCSing is a verbal noun. An example of that would be, I'm PCSing to Germany next month, meaning I'm having a permanent change of duty station, meaning I was based here for, let's say, 2 years. I'm now based in Germany. 11, BTZ. BTZ is an acronym that stands for Airmen Below the Zone, and is a program which allows people in the 3rd enlistment rank, or E3, to rank up to E4 6 months before everyone else is able to that joined at the same time. So everyone who went to MEPS and joined the military officially on the same day, that's when the clock started. And so if you get BTZ, if you're selected for that competitive program, you will be eligible to rank up to E4 when you get to E3. When you get to E3, you'll be eligible to rank up to E4 quicker, and thus you'll get paid more quicker than the other people that joined the same day. And on top of that, that means depending on when it happens, if you're lucky, you may be able to test for staff sergeant a year ahead when everyone else does because of weird cutoff dates. Number 12, recall. Recall is what is the term for when everyone, let's say at your base or in your squadron, or just you, has to return back to base immediately and check in. Yes, there can be digital recalls sometimes, and that just means, checking in via your phone. But a traditional recall is, if you ain't on leave, then I know you in town because I know you want to break rules. I know you would not deceive me and go out of town when you did not take leave. So thus, since I know you're all in town, this should not be difficult. When we say, hey, it's a recall, you get that random text or call, totally random. It's like 2 p.m. on Saturday. And they're like, everybody will check in on base within the next 2-hour window, or so help me God. 13, TDY. That stands for temporary duty. And so a TDY, or an example of a TDY, would be, hey, I'm going to the UK for 2 weeks for a training program, or to sync up with someone, to sync up with a squadron over there that's doing something similar, but we want to exchange work or compare, you know, strategies and tactics used by the various squadrons. So I will go to the UK, to a base out there, to kind of compare what they do to what we do here. Or I will go to Alaska to support a squadron over there because we do something that they want to learn how to do, so I'm going to teach them how to do it and just get the ball rolling. So that would be a TDY, because it's not a permanent change of station. It's just like 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 months. It's just like a little temporary thing where that base is borrowing you for just a little moment, a little moment. 14, CONUS versus OCONUS. Now, CONUS stands for the continental US. OCONUS stands for outside the continental US. And that is just a very brief way to say, hey, my next base assignment is OCONUS, where a lot of people would be like, oh my God, you're winning, you get to leave the country. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. And then you say what base you're going to, and they're like, oh, good luck. CONUS is just a way to say it's happening within the continental United States of America, excluding Alaska and Hawaii, because, well, they're slightly detached. Alaska's not, but hey, Alaska is OCONUS, don't ask me why. So anywho, if you're going to a CONUS base, it means here. If you're going to an OCONUS base, it means abroad. 15, USAFA. USAFA is the United States Air Force Academy, which is located near Colorado Springs, Colorado. Next, number 16, DBA. DBA is a dirtbag airman. Don't be one. Let's bring up some examples for people who aren't tracking. A DBA is someone who's regularly late for work, who does the bare minimum in any group projects, doesn't pull their weight in the office, will be the last person to leave an office on a Friday and leave the trash there because they just don't care. So do not be a DBA. Thank you. 17, LOC, R, A, or R. So an LOC, an LOR, an LOA, or the second type of LOR. LOC is a letter of counseling. Not great, but we can manage it. LOR, the first one, is a letter of reprimand. It's getting a little bad. And LOA is a letter of admonishment, and that's real bad. We don't like that. I mean, I think above that's like an Article 15, so LOA, avoid at all costs. The other LOR is a letter of recommendation, and that is actually a positive, saying, hey, we noticed X about your performance or your behavior or your effectiveness at your job, and we're putting it down that you are doing great and we notice. Cool. 18, Sep Date or ETS. When someone says, what's your ETS? Usually you're going to be talking to someone in administration or admin, because that's a very admin-y way to say it. What's your ETS? Your ETS is your expiration term of service. When does your term of service expire? The normal way to say it is, what is your separation date? Or what is your Sep Date? AKA, what is the very last date in which you are enlisted or serving as an officer? But I don't think it works like that for officers. What is the very last date applicable in which you are obliged to, serve in the military? 19, BX. BX stands for base exchange, and it's pretty much the base department store, or on some bases which are really legit and really funded well, I guess, it's pretty much the base mall, like it feels like a mall. 20, the commissary. Now, if the BX is the base department store, clothes, technology, movies, things like that, cameras, the commissary is the base grocery store. And finally, number 21 is AWOL, and the acronym AWOL actually stands for absent without leave. And I'm sure you already know this, but AWOL is bad. Don't go AWOL, because it's illegal. And I think you'll be arrested. So try to avoid. Thanks. I hope you enjoyed this. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed this video. Also in the comment section, let me know how many of these 21 that you already knew, or just write the ones that you didn't know. Let me know how you did if this is a quiz. Let me know how you did below in the comment section. Definitely subscribe, turn the notification bell on. Have a great rest of your day, and per usual, if you want to see a little bit more of this face, you can find me on Instagram or Twitter at Michael A. Inman _. See you later. Bye.